All right. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying, Koholo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who rule well and who taught me this truth. And shalom to you, sincere Akim, out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And I'm going to jump straight into this video. Lord's willing, it's edifying. I'm going to go into Rakal Kodash. The topic is going to be centered around this video off of RT. It's from May 31st, 2019. It says Iran reveals huge underground missile armory. Okay. I'm going to play the video. Let me pull a scripture real quick. I'm not going to really go into this scripture too much because I'm going to just hit it right quick, because get straight to the point, because this has been the spirit that's been going around lately, man. If you can receive it, this scripture been coming out a lot, This prophecy in particular has been screaming, man, of late anyway. But anyway, it's Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Get straight to the point. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up." Verse 10 says, "Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." Okay? And as the elders always go into, that's going into these weak nations, these weaker countries were weak at one point because they lacked the great sword, which is the intercontinental ballistic missile, the ICBM. Okay, but now they possess the different various countries possess multiple warhead, multiple missiles. So now they're saying they're strong, like North Korea, Iran, China, all mainly because of Russia and China. As the scripture said, Gog and Magog was going to come to their defense. Okay, so they're supplying a lot of these countries and working with these countries, therefore allowing them to become strong. Okay, and that's what you see is going on, man. All right, America, which is Babylon the Great, they're losing their hegemony. Okay, they're losing their power. All right. But anyway, like I said, the video is going to be centered around, like I said, this video here. But I just wanted to bring out Joel real quick because this is, this is what times you're in, man. This prophecy in particular has been speaking, man, has been screaming. Okay. And as we know, Iran are the Persians. Okay. But anyway, this is off of it's a real short video. I got a couple videos that I wanted to show also, but this one's real quick. It's like I said, May 31st, 2019, off of RT. It says Iran reveals huge underground missile armory. You see, so this isn't this kind of reminds me of the Iraq, Afghanistan, the whole 9/11 thing. They said that they had weapons of mass destruction, so they went to war, and when they went in there, they never found nothing, right? Who was it? Saddam Hussein, I believe it was, or whatever. I forget exactly, but with Baby Bush, that the big thing was the weapons of mass destruction. Iran is showing you, man. The weak nations are saying they're strong. North Korea testing their missiles. We in them times, man. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna play this video. It's real short, and I'm gonna jump into the scriptures, and I got a couple videos that I wanted to show also to kind of drill the point, man, to these idiots that are saying the missiles aren't in the scriptures, man. You out of your goddamn mind. You damn right they're in the missile, and they're man. The first death was water, man. The flood. The second death is fire, man. Those missiles. Okay, you out of your mind if you think that's not in the scriptures, man. Anyway, let's play the video. It's showing you, man. It's showing you they strong, man. And these here, Salaki, I don't believe these aren't ICBMs, because I believe they would get in trouble. That's the whole thing. They want to start developing nukes again. That's what they're threatening to do. But these are just like you know, I'm not up on missiles and shit, but like cruiser missiles and different shit like that. But they're showing you they about that life, man. They ready for war. As Joel said, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Well, I could be mistaken, but I'm not no missile expert. They showing you what time it is, man. Okay, they showing you what time it is, man. But that's the video that kind of inspired this. It got me thinking about the missiles again, man. Which I always meditate on it. But I said let me do a little lesson. I haven't done a little lesson on the scripture. Going into the scriptures about the missiles in a little while. So why not? Anyway, this is Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." Okay? So the eye is Yahweh. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. He put the spirit on these the so-called wise men of Teman, like I always bring out from the elders, man. After I believe it was World War II, whatever. After Hitler fell, the Nazis fell. Russia and America, the Soviet Union and America, there was a big scramble. They show you that in a lot of those James Bond movies, man. They were fighting over these scientists, these so-called German Nazi scientists, man, the wise men of Teman. But the Lord said He put it in their spirits to split the atom, to create those nukes, man. The various they got all type of nuclear devices now, man. Besides, way more powerful than the hydrogen bomb, man. There's all type of. They got the Satan. Russia first they had the Satan 1. Now they came out with the Satan 2s. Anyway, but like I said, I just wanted to bring that out real quick because, like I said, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is the one that's doing it, man. All right. Let's hit some more scriptures. Let me see where I want to start at. Let me start up some more. Salakia. Let me start at 13. This is Revelations 9 and 13. "And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before Yahweh, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, Loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, a day, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. And the number of the army of the horsemen," talking about those missiles, okay, the Lord's arrows, okay, if you can receive it, "and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the visions, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them." You see, because remember, John is on the island of Patmos, and he's having a vision, a dream, a prophecy. He's seeing a prophecy. The Lord is revealing the end to him. Okay, and he's seeing these missiles. But this is damn near 2,000 years ago, something like that. So how can he describe missiles, man? He's never seen nothing like that. He's never even seen a plane, So he's describing it the best that he can, okay? But he's talking about those missiles. It's being shot out of those silos and those submarines and whatnot, okay? And it says, "And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths," see, because they weren't horses. He's painting the picture of something. He's describing something. "And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions," meaning powerful. And what's on the top of a ICBM? The warhead. Okay, and each warhead, as I got a couple of videos, some of these missiles got fucking multiple warheads. All of them do. Okay, like have 10 warheads in each warhead, in each fucking missile. Which you can see a better picture of it later when I'm going to describe. That's how you can see why he said the number of them was what, 200 million missiles. Okay, it says, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Okay. By these three were the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. Okay, what kind of horses are these, man? Okay, they're talking about missiles. Okay, it says, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails. Okay, and the tail is talking about when it's shot up out of the speed and the power, that smoke trail. That's the tail that he's seeing. Okay. It says, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Okay? So like I said, he's talking about those missiles, okay? Intercontinental ballistic missiles. So now I got a couple videos that I wanted to show to kind of, we already know, but a picture, what is it? I forget the saying. A picture is worth 1,000 words or something like that. Sometimes when you see things, it paints a much more vivid. There go the mushroom cloud over here. This is a good one here too. Let me click on this. I didn't click on that before. Let's see what this one is. Live. Damn, that's probably I can pull the videos up ahead of time.
Sometimes the noise of news reporting can numb the significance of a story. For example, the ongoing talks with North Korea over its nuclear arsenal.
I just want to see, because that was a good little image they showing you. The mushroom cloud. Let me see if they... If I don't have this one, let's see.
Report from David Martin.
Miles back, observers from all services and several allied nations stand by for the first daylight tower shot.
So they showed it off several allied nations. You see, they were flexing their muscle. See, that's why they dropped that. They dropped 2 nukes on Japan. Because they were trying to show their power. They didn't have to drop the second one. They did it to show their power, to put fear, and because that was their blessing. Isaac blessed Esau with a sword. But as Joel chapter 3 says, let the weak nations say we're strong. They got the sword now too. They got the nukes now also. But they were flexing their power. You see, showing it off in front of the allies, in front of the allied nations.
Tower shot.
The terrible swift power of nuclear weapons has to be seen to be believed.
This is a really big fireball. It'll be about 2 miles across.
Now, thanks to a project headed by...
And that's just one bomb hitting. Like I said, each bomb has multiple warheads on it, and the whatever I don't know what that was, but that whatever that was probably an atomic bomb, atomic blast. These what is it, plutonium or whatever? They're way more powerful, man. Way more powerful. But anyway, Salak, let's run through these because I watched these already. So.
On March the 1st, President Putin announced a new generation of weapons vastly superior to anything developed around the world.
An old video too. This was like 2018.
У России такое оружие есть.
A hypersonic system, an ICBM with unlimited range, weapons that can fly through dense layers of the atmosphere, a nuclear-powered cruise missile, underwater drones, a unique combat laser complex. That got everyone talking about an arms race and that deadly Russian missile. But from Russia's point of view, it's the one that feels threatened and wants to restore nuclear parity. So how does that work? And what did Putin mean when he said,
Нас никто не слушал. Послушайте сейчас.
To be clear, nuclear parity came as a result of an arms race. It was provoked by the first and, so far, only nuclear strike in history, when the US dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Estimates put the total number of casualties at up to 450,000. By 1949, the USSR had its own nuclear weapon ready. By 1952, the US tested the first thermonuclear device. A year later, the Soviet Union followed suit. Both sides began to develop ballistic missiles in an attempt to get ahead of each other. The US installed nuclear weapons in Turkey, and the USSR...
See, that's what I was going into, that it's Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because they were, after the war, they were in like an arms race, man, with over those scientists. And they show you that in the movies, man. James, a lot of those Bond movies, a lot of those spy movies are about that, you know. But anyway, but that, like I said, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai said he's created the smith that bloweth the coal, man. Because he's a Lord of hosts, man. The Lord of armies, man. And those nukes, those arrows, are part of his army, okay? Along with us, his servants, the prophets, Lord's willing, we endure to the end. And the angels, man. Yahweh Shai and them angels. That's part of his armies, okay?
USSR put missiles in Cuba. It was followed by the Cuban crisis, which saw the world teeter on the brink of nuclear war, until Moscow and Washington realized there could be no winners. That's when
and now tensions are higher than ever. That was 1962. Fast forward to 2019, we in the Cold War all over again, even 10 times worse. Okay, like I said, you got actual Russia actually touched down in South America, man. We go into it all the time. Got their troops in Venezuela, man. Got their jets in Venezuela, you know. It's just serious times we in, man. Okay? The prophecies are screaming.
Period of détente came about. By the early 1990s, it seemed the tension between the two countries was over. It was a time of promises, although some would prove empty over time. NATO famously promised Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev that it would not move an inch to the east.
Hey, that made me think. His words are smoother than butter, but war's in his heart, man. You see? Broken promises, they full of shit. War's in their heart, man. You see? He's a devil, man. The devil the Bible speaks of, man. Who that? Daddy Bush, wasn't it? That was Daddy Bush.
Was over. It was a time of promises, although some would prove empty over time. NATO
promises.
Famously promised...
Empty promises, because he's the devil the Bible speaks of, man. His desire is as hell. It can't be satisfied.
Moscow and Washington realized there could be no winners. That's when the period of détente came about. By the early 1990s, it seemed the tension between the two countries was over. It was a time of promises, although some would prove empty over time. NATO famously promised Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev that it would not move an inch to the east.
Даже такие были выражения, как это было у Бейкера, госсекретаря, что мы и на 10 сантиметров не двинемся в интересах НАТО или что-то.
Recently declassified documents on the 1990 negotiations proved Russia's account is accurate.
If we maintain a presence in a Germany that is part of NATO, there would be no extension of NATO's jurisdiction for forces of NATO 1 inch to the east.
There would be no effort to exclude anyone, and there would be no step taken at this time to push anyone ahead of others.
In 1994, the US changed its mind about expanding east.
We're going to move forward on this, but I'd never spring this on you.
But over the past 18 years, NATO's been joined by Hungary, Poland, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Romania, Slovakia, Albania, Croatia, Montenegro, as well as the former Soviet republics of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. NATO is now at Russia's doorstep. Here is an online meme on how Russia moved its country too close to NATO's military bases. Furthermore, the US moved its missile defenses closer to Russia's borders, another promise broken by Washington. In 2002, the US pulled out of the ABM treaty signed decades before when the Soviet Union was still in place. What is missile defense? It enables one party to launch its own missiles and intercept any counterstrike. It could guarantee victory in a potential war. Of course, NATO and the US say their missile defenses are not against Russia, but against Iran and North Korea. But the locations tell another story. Missile defense installations were placed in Poland, Romania,
You see, America think they slick. You see, they saying their problem is with Iran. Okay, but Russia is not ignorant, as we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Okay, okay. So what happens is, Russia been said, you fuck with Iran, you fucking with us, man. Okay, and that's what you see happening now, man. But that's all prophecy. You know, Gog is gonna come to the defense. You know, Ethiopia, Persia, Libya, all with shields and bucklers. That's all scriptures, man. Okay, like I said, the prophecies are screaming.
California and Alaska. They're also planned for Japan and South Korea. Missile defense ships patrol the seas close to Russian territory.
Создаются системы, элементы систем противоракетной обороны, что нас очень беспокоит, и мы постоянно об этом говорим в течение 10 лет. Это разрушает стратегический баланс в мире.
The balance is disrupted, and Russia, which hasn't ramped up its missile defenses like the US, is facing a deadly danger.
Вы же все понимаете, о чем идет речь. Чего молчите-то? Вы все молчите. Ситуация усугубляется. Ведь это подталкивает гонку вооружений. Новый виток создает. Это же очевидная вещь. Вот мы все время думаем, как ответить.
God, it's clear as day, man. He's right. It's clear clear as day, man. We in the end. Clear as day. Everything that the elders of Great Millstone taught us is 1,000% true, man. The RFID microchip is the mark of the beast, and that's gonna happen. That's gonna be implemented before all this happens, man. We just leading up to the war, but a lot of things have to take place still, i.e. Jacob's trouble and whatnot, okay? But everything they said is clear as day, is 1,000% the truth, man. And if you can't see it, the Lord ain't dealing with you. You ain't supposed to see it.
Мы думаем, совершенствовать систему, значит, преодоления систем противоракетной обороны. Вот это и есть виток гонки вооружений.
Russia says it was forced to come up with a weapon capable of bypassing missile defenses in order to restore nuclear parity. The Kinjal MiG-31 can launch hypersonic missiles that can travel at more than 10 times the speed of sound.
That's why a lot of these countries are trying to get Russian, what you call it, the technology, man. You know, Russian, I forget what the hell they call them, you know, not the S-400s, but whatever the hell you call them. They trying to go with the Russian technology, man, because the Russian technology is far more superior. But don't get it twisted. America's technology is the Minutemen and all that shit. They got some shit too, man. They got some shit, man. This is gonna be a war like never before, man. You know, serious times we heading into, man.
And their unpredictable trajectory, they are unstoppable.
I'm gonna shut this down, man. I don't want to make this video too long. I had a couple. Let me hit some scriptures, because I hit some scriptures, then we go back in the video. Let me get this right quick. This is in 2nd Ezra, man, because the arrows, it's all in the scriptures, man. Okay. Let me see where I want to start at. I'll probably start at the top. I started at the top. Okay, this is 2nd Ezra 16:1. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia! Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria! Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away?" But the ultimate plague is going to be those missiles. But like I said, there's Jacob's trouble, man. Famine, martial law, all type of shit, man. All manner of calamity, all right? Prior to that, the climax, which is the shooting the nukes off. When those nukes are shot off, okay, and the day, you know, it's darkness, not light. You know, you see all them arrows shot. Then know Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to return, man. You know, then we're going to be delivered, Lord's willing, we keep enduring. But then we got a lot of shit we got to get through before we get there, man. Okay? It says, "He that endures till the end, the same shall be saved." So it's a lot of shit we got to go through. Okay? That's why now is the time to get your mind right. You know? Seek the Lord while he may be found. But anyway, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away any hungry lion in the wood? Or may any one quench the fire in the stubble when it hath begun to burn? And what did Yahushua say? Yahushua said, he come to set a fire on the earth, and what if it be already kindled? Okay? Because the nukes is gonna set a lot of fire, but he got fire too from his chariots. He's bringing his own fire, Man, that's why we're gonna look down from the chariot, like the apostles said, and we're gonna see America, Babylon the Great, is gonna be completely on fire, man, like a lake of fire. It's gonna be beautiful. Anyway, may any man drive away any hungry lion in the wood, or may any man, may any one quench the fire in the stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. And the archer in this instance is going to be those silos. Okay? That's the archer. And Yahushua is the one that's going to make them launch them off. Those arrows, the missiles. Intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's the Lord's weapons of indignation. Okay? It says, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. Because the scripture said, when those missiles hit, man, the earth is going to rock to and fro like a drunkard, man. The power from all those missiles, 200,000 missiles, man. Okay? It says, the earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof, the sea ariseth. And that's what, oh man, it's going to be beautiful, man. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. Why? Because those nukes, the fallout, the radiation, they're going to kill all the fishes, man, in the water. Man, Babylon will get fucked up, man. Let me skip forward some. I'll come back to that one. You see, Revelations 18 and 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived, those allies that came and sat down and watched them launch that nuke. Okay, the kings of the earth. All right, the other nations, Moab, Ishmael, Ammon, all the other kings, man. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, with who? With Babylon the Great, the whore that sitteth upon many waters, and the waters of the people. Okay, goes around and spread this bullshit democracy and its corporations. Okay, it's wine. Okay, and the kings of the, like it's that the scripture, its sins has reached up to the heaven, man. Anyway, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Okay, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city America, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. What can destroy this place in 1 hour besides Yahushua? Of course, the Lord could do it. He could snap his finger and destroy this place. But no, he's going to use the missiles, man. The smith that bloweth the coal. Those are the weapons, his glittering sword, man. Okay? His arrows, okay? In 1 hour, thy judgment is come. They're going to stand afar and see this bitch burning, man. And that's why the fishes, man, all the fallout, that's what he's describing. Ezra's describing. It says the earth, this is 2 Ezra 16 and 12. The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof, the sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. He's the one that's going to cause those missiles to be shot out of those silos, man. Okay? Ultimately, it says, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. Not miss what? America. Primarily America. It's going to hit other places also. Other places are going to get fucked up. But the primary destruction is going to be here, Babylon the Great. Okay? It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. What kind of arrow can, like the apostles always say, can you shoot and hit? No, that's a missile, man. That's the only thing that can be shot from one end of the earth and hit the other end of the earth. That's why it's called intercontinental ballistic. It comes out of the silo and goes up into the atmosphere and then re-enters in the atmosphere on the other side of the earth, man. Okay? It says, for the strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? That's Ezra speaking. And that shows you reincarnation also. Because he understood that he was going to be in... This is thousands of years ago, man. Okay? He was getting a vision of thousands of years ago, but he had the wherewithal to understand that he was going to be in them times, which is now. Okay? I'll read a little bit more. The beginning of sorrow, verse 18. The beginning of sorrow. These are all the plagues. Okay? Because like I said, it's not the missile, it's the climax of the plagues. But there's multiple plagues. Okay? It says the beginning of sorrows. That's what Jacob's trouble is. Alright? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. Famine of the word and physical famine. Okay? The beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, meaning bad times. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. I'm gonna drop that on. I don't make this too long. What else did I have? I have another scripture. This goes into the missiles also. I might go into this. I'm not sure. Let's see. I want to play a couple more videos though, so you can get a better couple of videos that have some good visuals. Let me see. That was that one. I don't need that one. It's a lot here. Oh yeah, this is here to show you what it looks like, man. With those arrows and shot, man. Russia's nuclear submarine successfully test fires 4 Bulava intercontinental ballistic missiles, multiple arrows. Like I said, the Lord's arrow, when they're shot, they're not going to miss. Okay? Right now, they're just test firing. They're going to shoot them off the ground. I want you to get a visual so you can see the serpent, the tail, the head, so you can kind of see what it, for those that don't know.
Боевая тревога. Боевой курс 80, глубина 45 метров.
The actual launch. Go ahead. Let's see the tail. It looks like a serpent. See? Multiple. And each one of these missiles have multiple warheads in them. Now you understand why it says 200,000 missiles. Because Iran is going to shoot missiles over here. China, Russia, North Korea. Okay? As it is written, the beast shall hate the whore, man. I want to show you a couple more. Show you a better visual of the tail and the heads and the...
Item 127, missile suspension released.
The test.
Item 128, launcher
This is
closure door open.
America's missile.
Item 129, first stage ignition to missile.
See, as an arrow is shot, you see? That's what can shoot from one end of the earth to the other. It was a better one than I found. This might, nah, that just shows the launch. There was one that was going into the actual warheads, man. I might not have kept it.
Will this stop a North Korean attack?
This might be it.
The U.S. Air Force has successfully test-launched an intercontinental ballistic missile from California on Wednesday. However, a military spokesman said it was not a response.
Yeah, this is it. He's going to break down. He's going to kind of show you the warheads, and you can see the multiple warheads, you know.
To recent North Korean actions. The LGM-30G Minuteman III is currently the only land-based ICBM in service in the United States.
These are the warheads. And I believe the Satan
is capable of carrying multiple.
Salaki, don't quote me, but I believe the Satan II has 10 warheads in the top of it. You see, they all have multiple warheads, and that's what the scripture said. With their heads, they do hurt. You see, the
land-based ICBM in service in the United States. It is capable of carrying multiple nuclear warheads. The missile has 3 stages of solid propellant rocket engines. The re-entry vehicle is launched along with decoys and chaff that are designed to confuse defense systems. Multiple warheads then strike different targets. An unarmed Minuteman III missile was launched at 2:10 a.m. Pacific Time from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. It flew about 4,200 miles to the Kwajalein Atoll in the Marshall Islands. North Korea fired its Hwasong-14 intercontinental ballistic missile on July 4th, while another ICBM test was conducted last week. Don't let YouTube ad bots dictate what Toma News reports.
That was this shit.
Who would win?
That's it on that. You could watch some your own research, man. I'm gonna hit one more scripture and I shut it down. It says Joel chapter 2 verse 1. It says, Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. And it's drastically approaching, okay? But before this happens, like I said, we got to go through Jacob's trouble and the mandatory implementation of that RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. It says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, as a great people and a strong, there hath not been let me read that over. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. Talking about when those missiles hit, okay? It's a paradise. It ain't even a paradise now. It was a paradise. The earth was a paradise. But after these missiles hit Babylon the Great, it's going to be a desolate wilderness, okay? It says, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. Talking about those missiles. Remember, it says there's a mighty arrow. They're going to hit their mark. None shall break their rank. It says, I'm jumping the gun. Joel 2 and 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. Talking about those missiles again. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Okay, that's when you see all them missiles being launched, and then you see them warheads falling. They're all going to fall in perfect unison order. You know, it says, before their face, the people shall be much pained. Yeah, you're going to look up and realize everything that starting from the apostles of Great Millstone, starting from Elder Apostle to Horror on down, what we've been prophesying, warning you people about is true. You're going to see that we were 1,000% true. Okay? Then shall they know a prophet hath been amongst them, but it's going to be too late. Okay? Okay, so when you look up, that's what it's talking about. When you look up and you see the missiles in the sky and them chariots, you go, man. It says, Joel 2:6, before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. Talking about those missiles again. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one of his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Okay, neither shall one thrust one another. Talking about those missiles again. Why? Because they're the weapons of the Lord's army, man. They're part of his part. They're like I said, they're his weapons of indignation. Okay, it says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Wow, that's beautiful. So even though they're gonna try to, like, they have these that's beautiful. I never caught that before. I'm gonna read that over. It says Joel 2:7, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the walls like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust one another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Meaning that if you know, like how they try to shoot them other missiles down, like they have the what they call it, I forget what the hell they call them, but they'll try to, like, say, like the Iron Dome, for example, in Israel. They've got that dome around them, and even though they shoot rockets over them, how they protect themselves is by shooting other rockets to knock that one out of the air. But Yahweh Shem Yahushai just said that even though they get hit by another missile, it ain't gonna wound them. It ain't gonna affect them. They still gonna keep on pushing. That's beautiful. Call her Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter in the windows like a thief. That radiation, that fire, is going to seep into everything. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? That's beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to shut it down there, man. I've been going for a little minute. But like I said, Lord's willing, it's edifying. You can receive it. You know, the missiles, they all throughout the scriptures, man. They all throughout the scriptures. You know, the Lord references it over and over and over. All right? And you can clearly see we in them times, man. Joel chapter 3, verse 9. You know, the video that kicked it all off. I'm gonna show it again. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm gonna pull it up again. You know, off of RT, Iran reveals huge underground missile armory. Okay, you know, the weak are saying they're strong, man. We in them times. But anyway, with that being said, Lord willing, it was edifying. Like I always say, we're almost out of here, man. Keep pushing. Shalom.